Good evening.
So this afternoon we
I
have
am being
here-
held prisoner in a small cell in Singapore. You cannot see my face, but I will answer all questions.
So this afternoon we had the pleasure to have Jim from Alban Clement to answer our questions about his wine. So Jim, we have two questions here for you. It is understandable that it's not your first time in Singapore, so that would be my second question with regards to food. But my first would be, it's a controversial question. Most New World Pinot Noir makers are known to be little copycats of Burgundian Pinot Noir in terms of style and things like that. With you having lived in France growing up, do you think that one, your style of winemaking has been influenced by the French? And two, do you think that yours would make benchmark California Pinot Noir?
I think 25 years ago, you're right, that people who couldn't make a good glass of Pinot Noir were trying to imitate Burgundy to find ways to make at least a good glass of Pinot Noir. The sad thing now is most New World Pinot Noir producers are no longer concerned about Burgundy. They want to make wine much riper. They want to make wine much darker. They want to make wine much more alcoholic than in France because they think that it's a more popular style of wine. For me, my style has been completely influenced by Burgundy. I worked there, I've lived there, I've gone back 32 times. I've spent lots of time trying to understand what's going on in Burgundy, and I find myself even more traditional than many young winemakers in Burgundy now. They're looking to try to make wines that appeal to certain critics in the world as much as American Pinot Noir producers and New Zealand Pinot Noir producers and Australian Pinot Noir producers. I think the reality is traditional Pinot Noir requires a certain tannin structure, it requires a certain alcohol balance, it requires a certain liveliness of acidity, and once you make a wine that's, as the French would say, bien équilibré, well balanced, then you're in a situation that you can make Pinot Noir that can be taken seriously in a conversation about what is a traditional or a benchmark or a great style of Pinot Noir. We've made a lot of changes in California in the last 25 years, and I've been able to make a lot of changes in my wine. Very few changes in my winemaking, but a lot of changes in my viticulture and my farming. And so we have replanted our vineyards at least twice in 25 years in my own vineyards, and we've made a lot of sacrifices for yield and quality. And I now think the grapes that I have are good enough. The climate that we selected is interesting enough. And the clones we're working with are fun also, so that I can make a wine that, whether it's a benchmark for California Pinot Noir or for New World Pinot Noir, let other people make that judgment, but mine is definitely a benchmark for my Pinot Noir. And I like it a lot better now than I did 25 years ago.
That's great.
My first Pinot Noirs were very popular. They were highly enjoyed by a lot of critics. I never liked them very much, but I like them a lot more now.
That's great. We always improve in time, especially with the wine.
With experience.
Yeah.
With experience, I think, no question.